what would seem like almost a rare victory for common sense in America because the Supreme Court upheld Tennessee's ban on transgender medical treatments for minors. We're talking puberty blockers and hormones. In a 6-3 decision, the High Court ruled that the ban is not discriminatory. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote for the majority and said, the court's role is not to judge the wisdom, fairness, or logic of the bill, but only to ensure that the law does not violate equal protection guarantees. And it does not. Questions regarding the law's policy are thus appropriately left to the people, their elected representatives, and the democratic process. But Justice Sonia Sotomayor for the liberals dissented, saying that the court is abandoning transgender children and their families to political whims. Here to unpack this, Mike Davis, Article 3 Project founder and president. Mike, what are the implications of this? It was a 6-3 decision, which to most Americans watching tonight is like, how could this not be 9-0? But there you have it. That's where we are in the court right now.
It should be 9-0, but the three left-wing justices think that there is a federal constitutional right that prevents states from regulating gender mutilation surgeries on kids, pills and surgeries on kids. These are kids who are depressed. Maybe some of them are gay. Maybe some of them have gender dysphoria. Maybe it's social contagion. But these states have decided that they want to outlaw these procedures because these are life-destroying procedures on kids. And there is an industry growing around this where they're making a lot of money making these kids their guinea pigs.
Well, the ACLU, as you can imagine, Mike, very upset about this. One of the ACLU attorneys saying that people are basically fleeing because of these onerous rules. Watch.
Families in Tennessee, many of them are discussing potentially moving out of the state or moving out of the country, just based on what's been happening in Tennessee as well as, throughout the United States. With a lot of the executive orders that are aimed at trans people.
Okay, leaving the country, I mean, European countries have said no to this because surgery, hormone blockers, all the rest have had an inalterable effect on young people. We brought on these stories of these detransitioners and others who are just not in a position to make a decision. But the doctors and the hospitals that are making millions of dollars off this, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. It's totally demonic and corrupt.
Yeah, it's monstrous. These people who are performing these surgeries on these kids who could not give informed consent for these pills and surgeries are monsters.
Well, I think Clarence Thomas wrote in his concurrence that when this court has given exalted status to expert opinion, it has been to our detriment. Past deference to expertise provided the theory of eugenics, added legitimacy and considerable momentum, with this court throwing its prestige behind the eugenics movement and the 1927 decision upholding the constitutionality of Virginia's forced sterilization law. Fortunately, we do not repeat that mistake today. I don't just read that because that's my former boss. That was a brilliant strike against the expert class. Mike, how many times have we seen them wrong on science and on a whole bunch of issues, foreign policy, nothing to do with this case. But, I mean, we're done with the expert class. You have to earn your expert status.
Yeah, I mean, can the state ban doctors from cutting off kids' limbs? Of course the state can do that. So why couldn't the state ban these doctors from cutting off the kids' genitals and destroying their lives?
Well, this is good news. 6-3, should have been 9-0, but that's where we are. Mike, thank you so much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.